And let's get to our final topic on this edition of the Rock News Roundup podcast, and that is this. Ticketmaster might have violated consumer protection laws. You might remember the debacle that was getting Oasis Reunion Live 25 reunion tickets back in August and September of last year. It was a frustrating experience for a lot of people, to say the least, including myself. Lots of people very upset about the way that all went down, that Oasis ticket on sale, dynamic pricing from Ticketmaster, misinformation. Many fans made consumer complaints at that time, especially in the UK, because over here in North America, still kind of bullshit when it came to buying Oasis tickets. But I know the UK fans and fans in Europe had a much harder time picking up those Oasis reunion tickets. And there was just a lot of things that went wrong with that whole experience. And so fans rightfully had a lot of complaints about that whole thing. And then so Consumer Market Authority in the UK, they launched an investigation into the whole ticket thing. There was the Oasis reunion on sale that caused this whole thing to go down. And they found in their investigation, they just came out with the results, that Ticketmaster might have violated consumer protection laws, which are very serious, especially in the UK. They're serious everywhere, but these watchdog kind of groups, they really do take this kind of thing seriously. And that Ticketmaster might have lied about certain types of tickets. They said they were selling platinum tickets that weren't really platinum because they didn't include any additional perks on top of having just a seat at the concert. Obviously, dynamic pricing has been a very, very controversial issue with ticket buying, especially with the Oasis ticket sale. And they were basically surprising fans with high ticket fees after waiting in these queues, right? This whole Ticketmaster thing now is like you get into the queue, you get a code for a pre-sale or whatever, but you don't really know the price of the tickets until you're through the queue and you're ready to buy tickets. And then, you know what, the countdown is on, right? Because you want to get tickets, but you don't want to miss out on tickets. And so you might see a high price. I know that's what happened to me. And you've been dying to get these Oasis tickets and you're not going to back out now. You want to have your tickets, and then you pay a lot of money to get them, and then you feel a little bit dirty after the fact. I know I did. And so this watchdog group, the Consumer Markets Authority, is advising Ticketmaster that they have to communicate better with their buyers that are going to be buying tickets, specifically about this Oasis incident. That's a hard thing to say, Oasis incident. So it's really no surprise that Ticketmaster was deceptive, because this is Ticketmaster we're talking about. Pearl Jam have been ringing that bell for the last 30 years. And the Oasis on sale, the ticket sale, was a disaster on all sides. Even if you got tickets, and I know a lot of people did, a lot of people didn't, but even if you got tickets, you probably didn't feel good about the whole process of buying the tickets. And nobody knew the ticket prices. Like I said, nobody knew the ticket prices ahead of time. Even on the North American sale, once you were through the queue, you had to make a choice. Like for me, I knew that I had a limit that I was willing to spend. I put some money on my credit card and I said, this is it. This is all the money that I have to throw at this thing. If it's above that, I might not be able to get tickets. Like thankfully, the tickets that I got, you know, they were within my limit, but I didn't really have a choice. You know, it's taking place at Toronto Stadium, a stadium that they're still building in Toronto, by the way. And there's general admission and there's seats. And I didn't really have much time to be combing through seats, looking at prices and that kind of thing. So I just went, you know what, general admission, just buy the tickets and get out of there, because the whole situation was really stressful for me. I was like, my palms were sweating. I had a very, very, very nervous time and anxious time buying Oasis tickets. Like I said, I had a limit. If the tickets were outside of that limit, I might have been SOL on getting Oasis tickets. So thankfully they fell within the limit, although that limit was more than I've ever spent on concert tickets in my entire life. But just in general, like you think about it, Ticketmaster gets away with way too much. Like this investigation, yeah, they found some things, but really it amounts to nothing more than a slap on the wrist for Ticketmaster, if that. Like there was not going to really be any consequences coming from this investigation. I think Ticketmaster's response to this investigation was like, all right, noted, thanks for that. But they don't really, I don't think they're legally obligated to change anything about the ticket buying experience. And to me, like, I am excited about the Oasis reunion. I'm very excited to go to the show in Toronto in August, but it feels like it tainted the Oasis reunion a little bit for fans, fans who got tickets, fans who didn't get tickets. It should have been easier for fans to get tickets to the reunion shows at a reasonable price. And then I think today Oasis actually announced it's 100 days until their first reunion show at Cardiff in Wales. And then, it's like, it's just, I'm still excited, but it should have been easier for fans to get tickets for this tour. It shouldn't be that hard for people to get tickets to see their favorite bands at a reasonable price, right? We want to be able to go see Oasis. I used to go see them all the time. I've seen Oasis 6 times, and I don't remember spending more than, maybe $100 or $150 to go see Oasis back in their prime, right? This was back in the 2000s when they were maybe not at the height of their popularity, but they were still Oasis and they were still playing live in Toronto. And I never had to pay that much money to go see them. But then fast forward to 2025 where everything's a nightmare. Then obviously it was just like totally just getting raked over the coals to get Oasis tickets. And, Oasis say, that as a band, they didn't have any knowledge of dynamic pricing. I don't really believe that. They're blaming it on the management. They're blaming it on Ticketmaster. But I feel like the band is somewhat aware, or their management, who are very close to the band, are somewhat aware of all the kind of the backhandedness and all the shenanigans and shadiness that are happening with buying tickets. So I don't know. I don't feel like. Maybe the Gallaghers themselves, I feel like Noel and Liam are very hands-off with that whole thing. They just want to go on stage. They just want to play their songs. I feel like maybe they didn't know personally, but their management most definitely did. And to say, oh, well, our management knew about it, but we didn't. It's like, your management is your management. I'm sure the Gallaghers are in constant contact with their management, with their agents, and with the people that are doing this tour. And I feel like the management knew fully well what they were doing in this whole situation. So yeah, I'm excited to go see Oasis still. Very excited about it, but obviously there was some shenanigans happening with Ticketmaster and the purchasing of everything for this Oasis tour. And it's good that they have these investigations, that there are bodies, people out there, organizations that are willing to do an investigation and try to find these types of situations where fans and consumers aren't being treated fairly. But then if there's not any legal ramifications or consequences, maybe there are. If you know if there are any, you can let me know in the comments. But if there aren't any legal ramifications or consequences, then really, what does it matter? Because Ticketmaster doesn't have to enforce any of the findings from this investigation. They don't have to change a single thing about the way that they sell tickets for events and concerts around the world. And so really at the end of the day, it's a little bit of a shoulder shrug. Ticketmaster might have violated consumer protection laws. This investigation found like they did. There was definitely some shady things going on. But at the end of the day, nothing's going to change. Like I said, Pearl Jam have been ringing that bell since the 90s about Ticketmaster and the way that they do things. And it's been 30 years on and nothing's really changed. Ticketmaster is still the biggest name of the game when it comes to buying event tickets and concert tickets. And then they own the other companies that sell tickets. And now you're getting into resales and, scalpers and everything like that. And we're just selling tickets for absorbent amounts of money. And it's just really disappointing because I'm starting to go see concerts less. I love going to concerts, but I can't afford to go to these concerts. I don't like going through the anxiety of trying to buy concert tickets, especially for these big ticket events, whether it be Oasis or somebody else. It just gives me such anxiety to go through these kinds of situations. So it's just I love concerts, but it's getting harder and harder to go see concerts. I only bought tickets to 2 concerts this year, Oasis and Stereophonics, which I saw last week. I might still buy some concert tickets for the rest of the year, but it really depends on how much it is. Maybe go see some more local shows here in Hamilton as opposed to going to these big shows in Toronto. Maybe these big shows aren't my thing. If it's not Oasis or some other bands that I really, really love, I don't really think it's worth it to try and go through that whole thing. So Ticketmaster is going to be Ticketmaster no matter what. People who got Oasis tickets got them. People who didn't might be paying a lot of money to get them on the secondary market. Even if there are official resales, the resale market's a whole other, bag of cats in there. So it's like, what are you going to do? So it's really disappointing that Ticketmaster probably won't change a thing as a result of this investigation in the UK. But at least we know that we are not, they're not pulling the wool over our eyes. We know perfectly well what is going on with these kinds of events. Unfortunately, that's just the way it goes these days. And that's kind of disappointing. So let me know in the comments below what you think of this whole situation about this Oasis tour and the tickets. Are you disappointed with the whole way this whole thing went down? Or are you okay with it? Is that just the nature of the beast and you're going to pay whatever it takes to go see Oasis? Let me know in the comments below.